provide convenience to both customers and branch personnel, cut on costs, and reduce irritation and complaints. These are the winners for the 3rd Service Excellence Congress held on February 2nd, 2007 at the MMLDC.
Third place winner, ladies and gentlemen, Mandaluyong Branch with their project C25 Connect. May we call on Area Head Mr. Leo Mabale, Ms. Emilinda Tombok, Branch Manager, and members of the Mandaluyong Branch.
Thank you and congratulations, Mandaluyong Branch. We now call on stage the 2nd place winner with their project Document Requirement Form, the Balagtas Branch Office. Area Head is Mr. Ruben Benosa, and the Balagtas Branch Head is Mr. Alfredo Moreno, and we also call on the members of the team.
Let's give them a warm round of applause. Salamat at congratulations, Balagtas Branch. And our first place winner, Kamuning Branch with their project Service Application Guide. May we call Area Head Mr. Leo Mabale, Branch Head Ms. Melinda Derpo, and other team members.
Congratulations! Thank you and congratulations, Kamuning Branch. Congratulations, Melin. We now honor the branches with the highest Mystery Client Survey or MCS ratings. The Mystery Client Survey is done by actual Meralco customers who pose as clients, but are actually rating the branch frontliners in terms of service delivery standards. Beware. The mystery clients were pre-selected by a third-party research agency. The survey covers the following aspects: meter reading, bill delivery, cashiering, complaints handling, telephone answering, guard performance, and branch premises.
In fact, several surveys are done in a year. The branch's rating for the different surveys are consolidated to come up with the annual rating. These ratings are then used by the branches as inputs for improving their customer service delivery.
Tama lang yun. And our highest MCS awardee for Central Area with a total rating of 85% is Kamuning Branch and Melin. We call on stage branch manager Ms. Melinda Derpo and office team leader Ms. Beverly Ann Militar.
Thank you and congratulations, Kamuning Branch. Our highest MCS awardee for South Area with a total rating of 87.4%, San Pedro Branch. We call on stage San Pedro Branch Head Mr. Manuel Makatangay and Office Team Leader Ms. Marisa Kiatchon.
Thank you and congratulations, San Pedro Branch. Now, we go to the overall winner, Joe, with the highest MCS.
May pinakamataas na MCS rating.
Oo, 88%. Konti lang, no? And ito po ang Malolos Branch Office. We call on stage Malolos Branch Manager, Mr. Noel Porciuncula, together with the Office Team Leader, Mr. Arnaldo Punay.
Kasama din po nila si Sir Ben Benosa.
Yes, Mr. Ben Benosa. Ang North Branch Head natin. North Branches Head. Thank you and congratulations, Malolos Branch. Thank you, Mr. Lopez and Mr. Kagampan. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Meralco employees, to give his message this afternoon is our President and Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Jesus P. Francisco.
Very happy good afternoon to all of you, my fellow employees, ladies and gentlemen. Kung bibilangin natin since Friday, March 9, I think this is the 8th day leading to our special day tomorrow. But for me, this afternoon's Corporate Rites and last Monday's Service Awards are the focal points of our week-long celebration of our 104th year. Because they are about our employees. And this afternoon, we have recognized the achievements of Meralco as a company and the achievements of our co-employees and of the organizations for their excellent performance in 2006. I think there is no need for me to review 2006, except to mention that tinimbang tayo as a company, as an organization, at hindi tayo nagkulang. And for that, I wish to extend my personal thanks to each and every one of you, my co-employees. We are almost at the end of the first quarter of 2007, and this year has brought with it new challenges. But I'm confident that if we are all together united, we can hurdle all the challenges of 2007 and the years to come. And once again, I ask for your cooperation and our unity as a company. We have some unfinished business, system laws, for example, and some regulatory issues. And I hope that we will work hard to meet our goals for the year. As I was thinking of coming up here to deliver this traditional message, inisip ko, ano kaya ang unang kakapusin? Yung gusto kong sabihin sa inyo as your president or yung boses ko? And so, hindi na ako magtatagal at tapusin ko na ang aking speech by saying that yung gusto ko pang sabihin, papakiusapan ko na lang si Chairman Manuel Lopez to say for me. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Francisco. Please remain on stage. We'd like to call back Mr. Lopez, sir, and Mr. Kagampan. We now go to the Presidential Awards. This is an annual recognition for offices with the highest organization ratings based on goal attainment, actual performance, or improvement and contribution to the company's objectives.
Under the branches and distribution categories are 2 awards, the Best in Class and the Most Improved Awards. This year, we gave the awards to 5 deserving offices. The Best in Class award is given to the branch or sector which outperformed other offices in their category in goal attainment based on stretch goals or actual performance. The Most Improved Branch or Sector Award recognizes the office with the greatest enhanced organization rating or actual performance from the previous year.
The 2006 Best in Class Presidential Award is the sector that showed the highest goal attainment in 2006 and ranked highest in nearly all the distribution indicators. We would like to call Mr. Ricardo Buencamino and Mr. Rustico de Borja to join us on stage. The 2006 Best in Class Presidential Award for the distribution category goes to a 3-time awardee. Its first 2 times as part of the North Lines Division in 1992 and 1993, and now as a sector. The award goes to Valenzuela Sector. Yung mga representatives from Valenzuela Sector in the theater, please stand to be recognized. And may dala pa silang banner.
Oh, yes. Alam na nila. Receiving the award are former Sector Head, Mr. Rabel Bona, and the current Sector Head, Mr. Nestor Divina, and representatives from the Valenzuela Sector.
Thank you and congratulations, Valenzuela Sector. May we request Mr. Buencamino and Mr. De Borja to remain on stage as we call our next awardee.
Our next Presidential Award recipient in the distribution category is the sector with the greatest improvement. The 2006 Most Improved Presidential Award for the distribution category goes to San Pablo Sector. Representatives from San Pablo Sector in the theater, please stand.
Receiving the award is Sector Head Mr. Benjamin Cusi and representatives from San Pablo Sector. May dala din silang banner, Dina.
Ano ko sa ABS-CBN minsan, may mga banners. Mga artista na lang nakalagay ang pangalan. Thank you and congratulations on Pablo Sector. Thank you, Mr. Buencamino and Mr. De Borja. Our next Presidential Award is for the branches category. For 2006, both the Best in Class and Most Improved Presidential Award for the branches category was bagged by one branch office. This Grand Slam in the branches category has happened only twice since the Best in Class and Most Improved Presidential Awards were introduced in 2002. These 2 awards go to Calamba Branch Office. And to receive the Best in Class Award are Branch Head Victor Bailoses and representatives from Calamba Branch together with Mr. Jobert Almazora, Customer Retail Services Head, and Ms. Ruth David, South Branches Area Head.
Thank you and congratulations. May we request Mr. Almasora, Ms. David, Mr. Bailosis, and the branch team leaders to remain on stage for the next award.
To receive the Most Improved Presidential Award for 2006 Branches category are Branch Head Victor Bailosis, branch team leaders, and other members of the Calamba branch. May we also ask the other members of Calamba branch in the theater to please stand to be recognized. Wala pong taga Calamba? Yes! Congratulations! Delayed reaction lang pala, Joe. Nandyan sila.
Mga taga Calamba branch yan.
Kanina. Tumayo sila doon. Delayed reaction lang, Joe. Nag-react, hindi NR.
Salamat at congratulations, Calamba Branch. Thank you, Mr. Almasora and Ms. David. We would like to call back on stage Mr. Buen Camino for the next award. Our next presidential award is for the Technical Services category.
The 2006 Presidential Award for the Technical Service category is a 4-time winner. Ito po ang System Control. Representatives from System Control in the theater, please stand to be recognized. Yan po, sa gitna. Receiving the award is former office head si Mr. Nestor Tong Sarmiento and the current office head Clemens Rivera and representatives from System Control. Hello, Clemens.
Thank you and congratulations, System Control. Thank you, Mr. Bencamino. Ang susunod nating category is the Administrative and Management Services category. The 2006 Presidential Award for the Administrative and Management Services category goes to Employee Relations.
Receiving the award are the office head, Mr. Ricardo Concepcion, and representatives from Employee Relations. Congratulations po.
Kasama din po tatanggap ng award si Mr.
Mr.
Sapitula.
Ben Sapitula.
And of course, Mrs. De La Llana. Hindi mo natatanong, Dina, si Ricky Concepcion. Kasama kong nag-umpisa sa Meralco.
Talaga?
Way back.
19.
Almost 20 years.
Oh my. Congratulations again po sa Employee Relations.
At this point, ladies and gentlemen, we now go to the individual achievers. Ito yung pinakamatitindi, ika nga, Dina. No?
Yes.
For 2006, we have 15 outstanding employees. 1 rank and file employee, 11 are supervisory employees, 3 junior executives of the company. A Meralco Outstanding and Model Employee of the Year awardee passes rigid screenings and must meet stringent criteria.
For the rank and file category, may we call on Mr. Alan L. Rojas of Alabang Sector. Mr. Rojas is an acting lineman at Alabang Sector, Construction and Maintenance. He has been with the company for 7 years already. To further improve our system loss and reliability indicators, Alabang CNM created an additional crew where Mr. Alan Rojas leads the crew even if he is only acting lead man with the majority of his crew still on probationary status. Currently assigned with the ISC team, Mr. Rojas has shown malasakit to the company through the customer service he renders and his willingness to work even during holidays. He has built a solid relationship with his crew and has led his team by being a good example. Mr. Alan L. Rojas.
Thank you, Mr. Rojas.
Our next candidate si Mr. June Umale Cruz. Mr. Cruz is a foreman assigned at substation. He was hired on September 10, 1979 and has been in the company for 26 and a half years. His team was able to repair and recondition 5 power transformers, serving vital loads despite the fact that these transformers had already failed the test conducted by electrical testing. These actions were able to save the company a substantial amount of money. Mr. Cruz has also been contributing to the ISO certification accreditation of the community warehouse for 3 years now. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. June Umale Cruz. Thank you, Mr. Cruz.
We now call on Mr. Christopher A. Diaz. Mr. Diaz is a squad leader at the Valenzuela Distribution Metering Services and Security. A BSEE graduate, he was hired as a junior single-phase inspector on January 3, 1994. Now as squad leader, he has contributed immensely towards our system loss drive. 34 violators of RA 7832 were apprehended through his leadership. As part of DMSS, his integrity is always put to the test. There had been incidents wherein he refused to accept bribery from those caught pilfering electricity. Mr. Diaz also participates in various outreach programs of the company. Mr. Christopher A. Diaz. Salamat, Mr. Diaz.
Our next awardee is Mr. Ariel U. Franco. Mr. Ariel Franco, an administrative supervisor at Manila Sector, started out as a junior clerk on December 1, 1987. He has been actively involved in the company's 5S and Good Housekeeping program for several years now. While the whole DMSS or the DM Security and Services transferred to Lubiran from RPO and Pasig sector, despite having manpower deficiency, his unit still managed the additional workload. A regular figure in outreach programs, Mr. Franco readily volunteers himself without hesitation. Recently, he was awarded by CSRO as one of the star volunteers in the Teachers Education Project. Mr. Ariel U. Franco. Thank you, Mr. Franco.
Next is Miss Elenita L. Garcia. Miss Garcia is an assistant office team leader at Pasig branch. She has been serving Meralco for already 18 years. Miss Garcia was critical in the improvement of the effectiveness of the branch in rendering excellent customer service and in the attainment of the branch goals and thrusts. With her contribution, Pasig branch was able to attain its goal of collected amount from energy sales and had among the highest overall collection rate. Working on the average 12 hours a day and dealing with the customer with utmost respect and care, she received several commendations from customers for rendering excellent service. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Elenita L. Garcia. salamat, Ms. Garcia.
Our next outstanding employee is Mr. Rolando A. Grino. Mr. Grino is a field representative at the Bacoor branch. He has been with the company for 18 years now. A dedicated employee, he goes about his work with utmost professionalism. He goes out of the way to accompany customers to find the cause of their complaints. He takes extra assignments willingly. He played an important role in the branch accomplishment, enabling the branch to further improve in its organization performance ranking. He was also instrumental in the cleanup operation in streetlight private accounts with big arrears, helping the branch collect over 1 million from 61 accounts, which today the branch continues to benefit from. He also volunteered in several barangay blitzes in Bacoor and Imus, and he also shares his experiences in meter reading with other field representatives to help enhance their skills. Lastly, with the untiring commitment of Mr. Grino, Bacoor branch was able to resolve and attend to 1,595 cases of operating complaints brought about by Typhoon Milenio. Again, Mr. Rolando A. Grino. Mr. Grino, your photo opportunity, please, with our executives. Thank you, Mr. Grino.
Next is Mr. Lito Lacerna. Mr. Lacerna is an acting foreman at the Santa Rosa Sector Construction and Maintenance. He was hired on December 1, 1989 as third-class lineman. With the dedication and commitment to work he manifested, the nominee was able to rise to the rank of foreman. He showcased his skills with his crew, being very instrumental on the restoration efforts for Typhoons Kaloy and Milenio. Mga kaibigan, Mr. Lito R. Lacerna.
Parang may nagkakatuwa, Joe. Parang meron silang private joke or secret joke kanina.
Maraming
Mr.
kasama yata si
Lacerna.
Mr. Lacerna rito ngayon.
Ano kaya ang bansag sa kanya? I wonder. Thank you, Mr. Lacerna. Our next awardee is Mr. Elmer T. Manansala, anak ni Ijong. Mr. Manansala joined Meralco in November 16, 1992 as a junior security support member at the Security Services Division. A computer engineer by profession, he was later transferred to the MTP IT PC support team. Mr. Manansala was a major contributor in the completion of the MTP's past project preparation, such as site coordination, hardware preparation, customization of various critical applications, such as OTMS, CMS, WOMS, and MMS. He is now assigned at IT Networking under IST team, performing the duties of network engineer in the area of development and implementation of networking-related projects.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Elmer Manansala.
Elmer, di ka ba ang tatay mo? Hello, Ijang! Nabuhay ka! Thank you, Mr. Manansala.
Our next awardee is Mr. Danilo Mendoza. Mr. Mendoza is a foreman at the Valenzuela Sector Special Line Equipment Management. He was hired on December 15, 1983 as a third-class line technician. During Milenio, he was assigned to help with the restoration efforts in our south sectors. His integrity was proven when he refused to accept 2,000 pesos from a customer who was showing her appreciation for the immediate response to her request. As foreman for SLEM, Mr. Mendoza is being credited for saving money for the company when he initiated the repair of a special line equipment load brake switch. Mga kaibigan, Mr. Danilo Mendoza.
you, Mr. Mendoza.
May we call on our next awardee, Mr. Ricardo Roman. Mr. Roman is a senior field representative at Power Accounts Field Team. Starting as a regular meter reader in July 1, 1998, he was one of the first to volunteer for the challenge of reading GP meters in the South area. Kasama na ho yung mga far-flung areas such as Pagbilao, Mauban, Lucena, Batangas City, and Cavite City. His impeccable customer service made him one of the company's outstanding employees for the year 2005. Mga kaibigan, Mr. Ricardo P. Roman. Salamat, Mr. Roman.
The next outstanding employee is Mr. Bienvenido Recto. Mr. Recto is a foreman at Rizal Sector CNM. A high school graduate, Mr. Recto has been with the company since May 16, 1990. He started as a third-class lineman, working his way to foreman. His merit ratings show that he is a top performer ever since he started more than 16 years ago. Mr. Recto has consistently demonstrated the kind of workmanship that he has. He always makes sure that he maximizes the use of resources without sacrificing its quality. During Typhoon Milenio, he not only helped in the restoration efforts in Rizal, but he also assisted in Alabang, having to sleep 3 days inside their truck or at the basketball court. He was also assigned in Talim Island, where the location is very unsafe and the execution of work orders was done manually. Again, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bienvenido C. Recto. Thank you, Mr. Rector.
Our next awardee is Miss Bulaklak A. Vivas. Floor facilitated the implementation of complex ISO projects such as a G1 level organization like the ISO 9001 certification of CIO, implementing multiple standards in an organization such as MMLDC certification to ISO 9001 for its quality management system, ISO 14000 for its environmental management system, and OHSAS 18000 for its health and safety management systems, ISO 9001 certifications for HRD, power accounts, and for multiple organizations such as the metering system, which covers corporate meter, DMSS, power metering security, a project she is currently working on. To ensure her competence in handling ISO projects, Ms. Vivas has attended and passed the IRCA Certified ISO 9000-2000 Lead Auditor course. Mga kaibigan, Ms. Bulaklak Flor Vivas.
Alam mo, Joe, kanina nakita kami ni Flor. Tinakot daw siya. Kailangan daw siya ay mag-makeup. No? Kung ayaw niya pumunta sa parlor, ang office mates niya magme-makeup sa kanya. Sa takot, nagpunta sa parlor po si Flor.
Yan po mga kaibigan, si Miss Flor Vivas.
We now go to the junior executive category. Let's start with Mr. Antonio M. Abuel Jr. Mr. Abuel is a project manager at the Project Management Office. He entered Meralco on August 16, 1990. As a project manager in the old PMO, then headed by Mr. Gonzaga, he handled projects such as the development of Tayaba Substation and Gateway Substation, which was completed in a record of 3 months. He personally negotiated the acquisition of the problematic right-of-way for the FCIE Gateway 115 kV line, which was the source of the new Gateway Substation. He was also appointed member of the Task Force on Real Estate Assets. Last September 2006, Mr. Abreu was reassigned to the new project management organization where he was able to immediately contribute to their excellent performance in the overall management of the company's electric capital projects. He was able to facilitate completion of his assigned 2006 projects, namely unloading of Santa Ana 14VN, Tanza Circuit 38ZW, and Gaya 32YS distribution lines. Again, Mr. Antonio M. Abuel Jr. Siya kaya ang papalit kay Mr. Ricky Bencamino? Or kay Mr. Atoy Lainez? Thank you, Mr. Abuel.
Ito, with pleasure na i-introduce ko kasi kasama ko to sa Prime Team on Public Safety.
Okay.
The next awardee, Mr. Jose Manuel A. Santos. Mr. Joey Santos is a senior superintendent at Central Sales. He has been with the company for 17 years. A multi-commended employee both from internal organizations and external entities, Mr. Santos ranks high in all 5 corporate values. He was instrumental for the exemplary performance of Central Sales in the past years, in part because of his innovations like proactive letter to customer containing the list of all requirements in service application, lead in creating project-covered process flow guide, a tool aiding sales engineer to monitor the project status and customer compliance to requirements, at yung internal guides for processing service applications. He was also involved in the regulatory field, studying different rules promulgated by the ERC, such as DSOAR. He is also active in outreach projects and was once marketing's model in its corporate image enhancement campaign. Mga kasama, Mr. Jose Manuel Joey Santos. Si Joey kasama namin nag-iikot sa mga munisipyo at city hall.
Ay, okay. Yes, okay. Safety, no? Thank you, Mr. Santos. Our last but certainly again not the least awardee for the junior executive category is Ms. Maria Cynthia C. Soluren. Ms. Soluren is a team leader at Treasury Operations and has been with the company for 20 years now. She was instrumental in negotiating refinancing facility in December 2004, which resulted in the company being able to extend the maturities of its existing term loans, thereby preventing Meralco from declaring a suspension of payments, which would have otherwise been the result had negotiations for the refinancing failed. She was likewise instrumental in negotiating refinancing facility in December 2006, which effectively lifted onerous covenants imposed by creditors in the refinancing of 2004, which Meralco was forced to accept. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Maria Cynthia C. Soluren. Thank you, Ms. Soluren. And ladies and gentlemen, ito po ang ating mga outstanding candidates. Ano po?
Our outstanding employees. Let's give them a warm round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. At ito na ho. Babasahin na natin.
Mauna ka, Joe.
Ang ating model employee sa rank and file category. Walang iba. Kung hindi, si Mr. Alan Rojas, Alabang Sector.
Thank you and congratulations. And now, for the model employee in the supervisory category, our winner is Mr. Rolando A. Grino of Bacoor Branch. We would like to ask all our model employees and all our standing employees to come forward for a photo with our presenters.
Thank you and congratulations. Thank you, Mr. Francisco and Mr. Kagampan. Ladies and gentlemen, to give his speech this afternoon, ang minamahal nating Chairman at Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Manuel M. Lopez.
All my fellow employees, magandang hapon sa inyo lahat. Today is Meralco's Recognition Day. Just like in schools throughout the country this time of the year, we honor individual employees and groups who have excelled in what they do and in what they have accomplished in 2006. We salute these men and women, these teams, and of course, all their supervisors, or what we call sponsors in the WIT and PRIME programs for leading the way. Every year when we celebrate our Employees' Day, and now our Employees' Week na nga, we celebrate camaraderie and friendship. As we enter a new world of competition and performance-based pricing, we find very useful lessons in all of the activities we lined up, especially this year. Todo na to, Fiesta Meralco, isang pasasalamat sa 104. Besides this very catchy and very appropriate theme, I saw these past few days, since the Mardi Gras or the parade last Friday, the following themes: competition, excellence, and leadership. The Rio de Meralco, or the Mardi Gras, last Friday, was an example of unity, corporate unity at its best. We saw the North, South, and Central teams defeat a formidable headquarters team. With a limited budget, they defeated a very, very strong team because of the use of creativity and ingenuity. That means that you don't need too much resources to beat the best. Last Saturday, the Araw ng mga Linemen showcased the Meralco linemen and our guest linemen who assisted us during Typhoon Milenio. We honored them that day not only because of their work for Typhoon Milenio, but the work that they do for us and our customers all year round, where they encounter a lot of difficulties and safety hazards. So we honored our linemen on that very special day. And they, together with our branch personnel, are the faces of Meralco. Last Monday, we showcased our corporate social responsibility as we follow the example set by many of our employee volunteers who have given much of their time to serve the communities that have been very good to Meralco. We also recognize all the awardees for the WIT, Prime, the ISO, the 5S competition. Last Wednesday's cheering competition is something very, very unique. I don't think any other corporation here in the country does it the way we do. It reminds you of your college days. However, there were very few surprises that day. The only exception was the entry of the subsidiary and affiliates team. There was a lot of consistency because the order of ranking have been the same the last 4 years. However, I would like to challenge the teams that did not win the best cheering in the cheering competition by following the example being set in the presidential awards. Like, for example, in the most improved and the best in class in the sector category, the winners this year were the tail enders last year. So that means that it can be done. So hinahamon ko, yung mga hindi nanalo, baliktarin natin ang order of finish sana next year. Pero nagpapasalamat din ako sa lahat because talaga this is something very, very unique, yung ating cheering competition. As a matter of fact, hindi na tayo magkasya sa fitness center. So magiging problema pa natin ito next year. No? We have a lot of other activities that were lined up this past week, like the Bandarito and Bandaron. While I was not there Wednesday night, I understand that the bands were terrific. And we saw a lot of our young employees actively participate that evening. We also have the Fire Brigade contest, the Quiz Bee, I-dribble mo, I-shoot mo, and the Appliance Fair, and many others. Thank you very much for all the subcommittee chairmen who actively participated in these events. Yes, these activities take time off from our regular work. There are resources we spend for these activities. There are also frustrations. May mga tampuan. Some of us were taken out of our comfort zones. But for me, these are all character building. Competition. Was it all worth the trouble and the expense? I say yes. You cannot buy the results that we will be seeing because of these activities. We are one big company scattered in more than 100 offices throughout the franchise. If we do not deliberately create occasions to see each other and to celebrate together as one family, hindi tayo talaga isang kapamilya. I heard one comment from one of the executives that these activities, singly and as a whole set of programs for the 104th anniversary, is more powerful than any team-building program. There was an Australian visitor here who attended the parade last Friday and Saturday's Lineman's Rodeo, and he was saying that he has never seen any company do it the way we do, and how he wished he had worked for a company like Meralco. We are breeding a new kind of leadership. In all of these activities, we are experiencing and learning all the textbook lessons on management and leadership. But one of the things we learn through all of these, which I believe will serve us very well in the more challenging days to come is the one I heard from the chairman of Xerox company, David Kearns, who said it about competition. We realize that we are in a race without a finish line. As we improve, so does the competition. In small ways and big ways, we learned through all the competition we had these past few days. With what I have witnessed, we are ready for the competition. Di ba? Ready na tayo lahat? I would like to make special mention to the committee of the 2007 Employees Day celebration. Of course, you all know Chairman Rolly Cagampan, his members, Bert Abilino, Ricky Concepcion, R.G. Gonzalez, Jess Malana, Toots Manyalak, Vladi Platon, Jenny Santiago, and Ed Vargas. Please stand up. On Monday, they go back to work. I would also like to thank all of those who really went all out and participated in one event or another. Well, I think what Mr. Francisco could not say because he was running kind of hoarse, and siguro you will allow me a few more minutes to just make this announcement, which I'm sure you will all... Subject to the approval of the board meeting on Monday, the 26th of March, we will propose the granting of the 13th ESOP to all qualified employees. The rules will be announced shortly after. And finally, the announcement that you have all been waiting for, which is the MIP. Yes, there will be an MIP. Hope has finally arrived. The amount will be announced after Monday's board meeting. So I would like to ask all of you for your patience and wait for the formal announcement in 10 days' time. And anyway, maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. And happy anniversary.
Thank you, Mr. Lopez, and congratulations to all our awardees for 2006.
What a way to end the Corporate Rites on a
Yes.
very, very happy note. Maraming salamat po, sir.
Actually, Joe, may bitin nga eh. Kasi si Mr. Lopez, 10 days pa sabi. Sir, bakit ganon? I know I'm speaking in behalf of all the employees here, but sir, thank you very much. Still, we look forward to it. Congratulations,
Maraming
sir.
salamat
See
po.
you next year.
Nasaan ka man, anong oras man, maging sa bahay, opisina o sa paaralan, andito lang kami para tumulong sa inyo. Anumang pangangailangan, kami ay tutugon. Sa bawat araw ay kasama ninyo, mga kaibigan ninyo sa Meralco. Mas masaya, mas maganda, pag may liwanag at mas masaya.